All right. Thanks again to everyone for joining us. Again, my name is Matt Cash with USCB's Office of Admissions. Today, we're going to give you a broad overview of the University of South Carolina Beaufort, and more specifically, our campus in downtown Beaufort, South Carolina. We're going to highlight some of the academic programs there, what student life is like, and just really help you get to know that particular location a little bit better. So, just to tell you about USCB, we trace our heritage back to the 1795 founding of Beaufort College. And then in 1959, we became part of the University of South Carolina system. The 21st century has seen lots of tremendous growth for USCB. In 2004, we opened a new location in Bluffton, South Carolina, a little bit closer to the Hilton Head side of things. In 2018, we began the revitalization of the Beaufort campus, which is what our focus for this evening is going to be. And then just last year, we opened our Hilton Head Island campus near the entrance to the Sea Pines Resort. Quick student profile: we welcome 2,100 students from 36 states and 10 different nations. We count those among our students. We have over 1,000 students living on campus, so we have one of the highest ratio of residential populations of any of the USC system campuses. Student to faculty ratio is 16:1, so it's a very close-knit learning environment. We boast nearly 40 different clubs and organizations, and we field 9 different athletic teams as part of the NAIA in the Sun Conference. So USCB, we have 3 different campuses together. I'm going to highlight those briefly, and then we're going to come back to what we're all here for tonight, our location in Beaufort. So Bluffton is our 200-acre campus located near the gateway to Hilton Head. We offer 10 different residence halls there, multiple dining options. It's home to our over 20,000 square foot campus center, which is the hub of campus activity, 26,000 square foot recreation center as well for intramural athletics, fitness classes, gyms, and all that kind of thing. And then the Hilton Head Island campus is our Center for Hospitality Management, and it is designed as a working event and conference center, complete with a beverage lab and demonstration kitchen. And then the Beaufort campus located on the historic Beaufort waterfront. And we're going to highlight some of the academic programs that are headquartered there in just a little bit. So altogether, USCB offers nearly 30 different programs of study that you can choose from by the time you factor in various concentration areas. And it's broken into 3 main parts: the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, the School of Science and Mathematics, and the School of the Professions. The city of Beaufort is conveniently located between Charleston and Savannah along the Intracoastal Waterway. So we actually have docks and piers on campus where you can just walk down and experience the waterfront. We boast a very rich history, unique Gullah cultural heritage and experiences away here. Fresh cult cuisine, local arts, and annual events and festivals are very, very popular in the Beaufort area. It's consistently named as one of America's best small art cities as well. So if you're interested in the outdoors, Hunting Island State Park, you might be familiar with that area. If you're interested in camping, kayaking, or anything along those lines, but at the same time, you're right near the downtown district for Beaufort. So shopping and dining opportunities await you right there on the waterfront. You can walk the boardwalk at the Sands Beach in Port Royal, take a boat tour, play a round of golf at one of the area's premier golf courses, and then kayak or paddleboard in the rivers, marshes, and creeks in the area. Some of the great restaurants, I know whenever I explore someplace new, I definitely want to check out the food scene. So if you're ever in the area, check out some of these locations. These are very popular: Blackstone's, Saltus River Grill. If you really want to get like a local seafood type thing, Dockside is really popular as well. Q on the Bay is right on the waterfront as well. So lots of really scenic opportunities to enjoy a meal after you get done shopping and exploring some of the shops and boutiques in the area. So around campus, and we are located right near the downtown district, right on Carteret Street. So it is home to the University Center for the Arts, which is where our fully functioning theater is that we participate with acting groups around the Beaufort area and everything. That's home to our Marine Science Building as well as the Grayson House. We just completed a new studio art facility as well. to complement the visual art and design. It's also home to research facilities like the Sea Island Center. Sandstone Building is the hub of kind of administration for the campus in Beaufort, as well as the Beaufort College building. So basically, the campus in Beaufort is its own sustainable campus. So you don't necessarily have to worry about a lot of back and forth in between Bluffton and Beaufort or anything like that. If you need to check on your financial aid, if you need to check on an admissions application, you happen to be in the downtown Beaufort area, you can do everything there. There's a library there. It's fully residential as well, with a lot of the same amenities that you might be familiar with at the Bluffton campus. So apartment style living, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathroom apartments. So it's not dorms or suites or anything like that. And the cool thing is you're located right on Boundary Street with balconies and that type of thing. So you can just see people walking up and down the streets, exploring the area. So just a really neat, close-knit community. So the programs that are specific to our location in Beaufort, it is home to our Beaufort College Honors Program, which is open to all majors. So you can choose, if you were applying to us as a freshman for the Beaufort College Honors Program, whatever you're studying, you can participate in that program. It does have program-specific cohorts for 2 degrees. That's nursing and biology, because of the sequencing of courses and how important it is to stay on track with prerequisite courses to progress and go on into upper-level coursework for those programs. They have their own specific cohort just to keep you on track. To make sure you're taking the right classes. We also, that is home to our history degree, as well as our brand new concentration in biology and marine biology, which is going to focus more specifically on the animal life and plant life indigenous to the immediate coastal area. We already have a concentration in coastal ecology and conservation, which focuses more on the entire ecosystem of the low country, but that's going to be more specific towards the immediate coast. It is also home to our studio art, a visual art and design program. There is an optional media arts concentration as well. So regardless of the type of medium that you might be interested in exploring, we have options for you. So maybe if you're into more like 2D and 3D drawing and painting, ceramics, printmaking, screen printing, anything along those lines. And then there is also a media arts concentration, which is going to be more if you're wanting to focus on the digital art and design and graphic design type fields in that. So, the Beaufort College Honors Program, what are the benefits of participating in an honors program? We really pride ourselves on experiential learning. So we believe that learning through experience is probably one of the most helpful and important things that will contribute to your education and making you a very well-rounded student. So you're going to be participating in that program with other scholars that are top students in their areas. It does come with additional scholarship opportunities as well if you're interested in the BCHP program. You can qualify for an additional $2,000 per academic year. You get priority registration for registering for your classes, so you really get first pick of the class schedule over other students to make sure that you have the times that you want and that type of thing. So we offer lots of research opportunities with our acclaimed faculty. We were recently highlighted as one of the top producers of Fulbright Scholars. So we're tremendously proud of the work that our faculty contribute in. Now, don't get me wrong, we are primarily a teaching institution. So you are not going to have a graduate assistant or anything like that teaching your class. But at the same time, our faculty do also love to research in their fields, but also to include their students in that research. You can complete an internship for academic credit within several different academic majors. And then the location is cool too for research opportunities. You can conduct experiments in coastal waters or study abroad in a different country. So campus experiences, and that is actually what you can expect the housing on Boundary Street in downtown Beaufort to look like. And it is, think of it as a fully furnished 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, complete with all major appliances. Most furnishings are included in that as well. They have their own dining facilities on the Beaufort campus as well. So lots of opportunities there. They also have their own director for the Beaufort campus experience as well, which that position is charged with making sure those students stay engaged and have opportunities to experience college life through programming, making sure that they know that they can be plugged into various clubs and organizations as well. And again, I highlighted earlier the 9 different athletic programs that we field as part of the NAIA and Sun Conference athletics. So campus resources, there again at the Beaufort campus, I mentioned they have their own admissions and financial aid representatives that can help guide you through the process when you're in the area. They do have their library. It is patrolled by our fully jurisdictional police officers on campus. And then you have resources like the Student Success Center. Now that is one of the most important offices in our campus because they coordinate academic advisement. That's going to be the team that makes sure that you're staying on track with your classes, to make sure that you are on progression to complete your degree on time. We also offer tutoring services. So if there's a particular subject or a course in particular that's giving you a little bit of trouble, you can certainly reach out to them and schedule an appointment for some peer-led tutoring. Now, it is tutored by students, but it is managed by university faculty and staff. So you know that you're getting quality instruction and assistance from fellow students that are doing well in that course or who have already successfully completed it. Career services, if you're interested in student employment while you are at USCB, whether it's on campus, off campus, or anything along those lines, they will help you find that. But it also serves a very important process as you prepare to graduate and go out into the workforce or prepare for graduate school, something along those lines, because they're going to help with resume writing workshops. They will help you know what to prepare for interviews by conducting mock interviews with you. They'll also host graduate school fairs. So if you're pursuing, maybe you're thinking like medical school or law school or something along those lines is in your future, they'll host grad school fairs where those college grad school representatives will come to you just so you can ask them questions about the program. They'll do the same thing for careers in the area, hosting career fairs and job placement opportunities. So definitely take advantage of that service while you're a student here, as well as once you're finishing your degree and about to go out into the world as a Sandshark alum. Counseling services. If you ever feel like you need someone to talk to regarding any kind of issues that you're experiencing on campus, you can certainly reach out to them to schedule an appointment or some sort of immediate meeting that you may feel that you need. There's also our Office of Accessibility Services. And with accessibility services, if you have a documented learning difference, maybe if you need additional test taking time or a note taker or something along those lines, that office can take that documentation and make sure that you get the additional support and services that you need. All right, so let's talk about tuition a little bit and college affordability and what makes us one of the most affordable public universities in South Carolina. So here you have a breakdown of what you can expect for tuition and fees, room and board, meal plans. This is kind of an all-inclusive ballpark figure for an in-state student. You can expect a little over $21,200 for the year. So that basically factors in everything except for textbooks. So there's also, if you're an out-of-state student coming to us, you're looking at around $32,250 for the residential package with tuition and fees. And it's important to note, if you're in one of the bordering counties in Georgia, you can qualify for in-state tuition reciprocity if you're a resident of Georgia in either in Bryan, Effingham, or Chatham counties. There are a couple of ways to help pay down that difference. So financial aid, the FAFSA actually launched on October 1st. So that's the federal application for free student aid. And we're going to talk a little bit more about financial aid in tomorrow night's program, but I did want to highlight on this real quick since the FAFSA is live now and it launched on October 1st. So if you're interested in grants, loans, work study employment, you can certainly go ahead and get to work on that. So our financial aid office can help see what you may be eligible for. But then there's also scholarship opportunities in either state state-funded scholarships, additional institutional scholarships, and donor scholarships that we call, which are pretty much like the endowed scholarships from local companies to our area, families that have generously donated funds to help students offset the cost of tuition and fees. So some of the more popular ones are like the state-funded scholarships, for example. State-funded scholarships would be things like the Hope Scholarship in South Carolina, Life Scholarship, and Palmetto Fellows. Now, keep in mind, and we'll talk again about this tomorrow night, but we do offer what's called Life Plus and Palmetto Fellows Plus and institutional scholarships. So if you're eligible for one of those two state-funded scholarships, you could potentially qualify for an additional $2,000 per school year in additional support from USCB. There's also, if you're interested in the Beaufort College Honors Program, it also has the opportunity for an additional $2,000 per academic year that can be added on top of any state-funded scholarships or other things like that that you may have qualified for. Now, if you're an out-of-state student that's joined us tonight, keep in mind that we also offer an out-of-state residential scholarship waiver program. So basically, if you graduate high school with a 3.0 GPA or higher, or if you're on a 100-point scale, that's fine too. Whatever is a B average on your school's grading scale, we'll factor that in. Or if you have a 1050 on the SAT or 21 on the ACT, you just need to meet one of those three academic requirements. And as long as you're remaining on-campus housing with us, it's valued at a little over $11,000 for the year that can be applied towards your tuition in the form of a scholarship to basically knock you down to what the in-state tuition rate is going to be. And again, be sure to join us tomorrow night, and I'll have a schedule of events for the week as one of the closing slides. So you'll be able to see the times and all that kind of stuff there. So the admissions process, what do we need? So for the 2021-2022 school academic year, if you're applying to us during that time window, so basically you're a current high school senior, wanted to let you know that we are test optional. So basically you would submit your online application for admission, and it does give you the opportunity to upload a copy of your high school transcript within that. So I definitely encourage you, if you have access to a copy of your transcript, upload that, because that really expedites the application evaluation for you. And especially since we aren't necessarily waiting on test scores to initially review your application for admission. So definitely take advantage of that. If you are applying to us as a transfer student, then you would submit an online application for admission, and then we would need for you to submit the official transcripts to us from each prior college or university that you have attended. So just to give you an idea of what we're looking for in our incoming freshman class. So for freshman students, we require a minimum of a 2.0 cumulative core academic GPA. And you might be asking, what does that word soup mean? So that is where we calculate your GPA focusing on courses that are considered part of South Carolina's required college prep curriculum for entrance into any public four-year university in the state. So basically, I typically advise students to aim for around a 3.0 GPA to be competitive for admission. Because we don't really know what your GPA, that cumulative core academic GPA is going to be until we actually get your transcript and evaluate it, because it's focusing only on those college prep curriculum courses. So official SAT or excuse me, ACT or SAT scores. Keep in mind, we are test optional. If you're a current senior, you're applying for the 2021-2022 academic year. Now, keep in mind, this is a pilot program, and it is because one of the leading factors is, of course, the widespread cancellation of test dates due to COVID-19. So we definitely wanted to make sure that we took that into consideration, and students weren't being penalized because they either could not test or they could not improve on a previous test score. So we do not know yet if this is going to be something that will continue on. Like if you're listening to us as a high school junior, hopefully we will have a decision on that soon. But for right now, the test optional policy is just for this current academic year. And just be sure to keep in touch with us if you're an underclassman in high school preparing for the future. So if you do have to submit test scores going forward, the base requirement for admission is an 880 on the SAT or a 17 composite on the ACT. We do not require you take both tests, but we will use the higher equivalent between those two if you did take both. So additional application requirements for the Beaufort College Honors Program. So if you want to be considered as part of that early decision to get be in that first group that is notified of whether they were admitted for a spot into the honors program, then it needs to be at least a 3.7 weighted cumulative GPA. Keep in mind that early decision deadline is to have your application submitted and your high school transcript for this year by December 1st in order to be considered in that first round of decisions for the honors program. So base requirements for admission, if you're coming to us as a transfer student, is a minimum of a 2.0 cumulative GPA based on coursework that is transferable to USCB from your prior institutions. And you also have to be in good standing from previous institutions. So no active suspensions or probations or anything like that. So yeah, I got ahead of myself a little bit there. I apologize for that, but yes, so it must be in good standing from each previous institution, and it's that GPA is going to be calculated focusing on courses that are transferable to the institution. So, what is your next? What are your next steps? So you can go ahead and apply now at uscb.edu/apply. There's also a big apply now link right on the university homepage that you can click towards the top right. And then you can use the fee waiver code to save the $40 application fee. And tonight's application fee waiver code is USCB21. And I'll be sure that we put that in the chat here so that you have it in text, but USCB21. The FAFSA is live, like I mentioned. So it opened on October 1st. So you can go ahead and complete the FAFSA and submit it to our institution or update it with our school code if you already have an existing FAFSA. And then pretty soon after that, we'll be launching the housing application, and you'll be ready to pay your enrollment deposit after that. And all of this is going to be communicated to you in a timely manner once you have been offered admission to the university as far as these important next steps. So the housing application, the enrollment deposit, and registering for orientation, you'll need an active USCB account for that. So those are just kind of an idea. That's just an idea of some things that you can be looking forward to in the timeline. So I told you I was going to tell you a little bit about the next sessions that we'll be hosting this week. So tomorrow night on October 20th, we will have a session on financial aid and scholarships. Wednesday, we're going to highlight academic programs as an information session. And then on Thursday is going to be housing and student life. And Kristen is, my colleague Kristen is on the line. Are all of these going to be at 6 p.m. as well? And you can just answer in the chat.
Yes, they are.
Okay, perfect. So 6 p.m. for Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night. And all these sessions are being recorded. So hopefully you can join us live, but we'll have options for you to still where you can view the information, even if you can't join us immediately. And you can text the main admissions line at 843-208-8055 to get links to register, or click on the links in the chat box. And my colleague Kristen is going to be posting those links in there. So again, I appreciate you all joining us. We're going to be available for some Q&A time. If anyone has some questions, feel free to put those in the chat. And looks like we have had an active chat so far. So let me. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen real quick so I can pull up. Okay. Okay, yes. So Caroline Holt asked of the 2,100 total students, about how many students are at each of the three campuses. So thank you for that question. So ballpark figure, I would say there is capacity for about 150 students are residential at the campus in downtown Beaufort. Now, more students than that take their classes there. They might be a commuter student or something along those lines. So about, as far as if you're talking about residential population, around 850 to 900 live at the campus in Bluffton. And then another 100, 150 live at the campus in downtown Beaufort. The campus in Hilton Head is actually not residential. So that is, again, that's the Center for Hospitality Management, and that is designed as a junior and senior level degree completion location. So it has classroom space. It's designed as a working conference and event center, but it doesn't have housing specifically there. And I apologize if I miss any. I'm just scrolling through the chat to see if we have any that we can answer live. Okay, cool. So Kenny asked, when a student completes the application and is able to upload their transcript, what is the expected time to hear if they are admitted? So if we're talking about for freshman admission, I typically tell students that the file will be reviewed within about 5 business days. That's our goal. To have it as far as a pretty quick turnaround time. Now, of course, the notifications may take a little bit longer, so I wouldn't expect like an actual letter in hand, and the email notification may take a few days before it cycles through the systems and everything. But as far as for a file coming up to review within 5 business days, and then, so let's just say 2 weeks. Typically for a freshman admissions decision. And that's from not the date that the application was necessarily submitted, but when it was marked as complete, meaning it also had the transcript along with it. All right. Oh, Simone asked, she has a daughter that is in the early college program through her high school. She'll have an associate's degree at high school graduation. And how do we contact to see what classes will transfer, and will she be considered a freshman or transfer student? So she would still, your daughter would still apply for admission as a freshman. Now the credits are eligible, should be eligible to transfer to us, but we still consider students freshmen for classification purposes on the admission side, since they haven't attempted that college coursework after high school graduation. So that still means that she can qualify for the initial freshman scholarships that she may be eligible for. And typically with those, like if it's an in-state institution, so if we're talking, if y'all are a South Carolina residents and the courses are being taken at technical college, in state, there's actually a statewide articulation agreement of 86 different courses that are guaranteed to transfer from any public technical or community college in the state into any public four-year university. So typically if you're if she's been taking like some general education level courses like your basic Englishes, maths, and that kind of thing, as long as you make a grade of C or better in them, then typically they're going to be fine to transfer in, as long as it's coming from another regionally accredited institution. So yes, we can certainly consider those for transfer credit. And if it is an in-state institution, there's a really good website. It is sctrack.org. I'm going to type that in the chat real quick. That is the South Carolina transfer I forget what the R stands for, Articulation Center. So that is a really good website to where you basically it has the transfer from and the transfer to institution, to where if you already have a copy of the transcript, or your daughter can access the courses that she's completed already or is planning on taking, she can kind of get USCB to line up with the current institution to where you can see exactly what is going to be eligible to transfer and what the equivalent course at USCB is going to be. Oh, you're out of state, and that's okay too. So basically, we wouldn't have necessarily an articulation agreement with an out-of-state institution, but as long as they hold regional accreditation, and as long as we have an equivalent of that course here, the courses are not technical, vocational, or career related in nature. So again, if we're talking about general education type courses, As long as you make a C or better from them, and we have an equivalent here, and that institution is regionally accredited, then we'll certainly consider those for transfer eligibility. So we don't, if for your daughter applying as a freshman, we actually don't require the college transcript right away. It just needs to get to us. So basically, not having the college transcript isn't going to hold up the degree-seeking freshman application evaluation for your daughter. But just as soon as her grades post from her final courses, it's a good idea to go ahead and get that to us as soon as you can. That way our registrar's office can perform a transfer evaluation and an official one to where they can go ahead and load those prior college credits that she's earned to her account. That way, when she's ready to come to orientation, which is going to be where she meets with the academic advising team and they register for the first semester's courses, they know what to schedule her around. So it's not needed for the initial admissions decision, but once she's finished up her courses, just get it to us, sent to us officially as soon as you can. You're welcome. All right. Do we have any other questions? Okay, I don't see any other questions popping in. So let me go back real quick to that prior screen. So again, 6 o'clock for the next available sessions for Beaufort Campus Week. So tomorrow night, financial aid and scholarships at 6. Also at 6 on Wednesday, academic programs to highlight the specific majors a little bit more in detail. And then on Thursday is going to be housing and student life and residence life. All right. Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us, and we hope that you've enjoyed your time here tonight, and that you can join us for the additional programming that's coming up this week. The main admissions number is 843-208-8055, and you can text or call that number. And I'm going to put my contact information here. I coordinate our application evaluations for freshman admission. So if you have any questions specifically about that, feel free to email, call, or text me. And again, my name is Matt Cash, and I can't type my phone number and talk at the same time. So feel free to reach out to me if you want to take a screenshot of that or take a picture of it with your phone real quick. So again, thanks again for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed learning more about USCB tonight. Have a great rest of your evening.